So this is my first official 2018 movie, and I find it kind of interesting just because this movie takes place after the events of 9/11, which, ironically enough, is my birthday. So I thought I could kind of share that information with you guys because it's kind of an interesting fact about me. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this review. So 12 Strong takes place about a month after the events of 9/11, and it's basically about the US's first attack against the Taliban in Afghanistan. And so they're sending out 12 soldiers, and the commander of these soldiers actually has no war experience whatsoever. He has all the correct training and everything, but he's never actually been in war, which I thought was kind of interesting. And so the leader is played by Chris Hemsworth, and then the chief is played by Michael Shannon, and then a sergeant is played by Michael Pena. And so the cast, I thought they were all alright. There was nothing like fantastic about them or anything like, wow, they nailed that part. Like, I couldn't imagine anyone else playing that part. There was nothing like that. They did their job. It just wasn't fascinating or anything like that. They weren't awful, but they were just alright. And so there's that. And then also, this is a war movie, so you probably expect a whole lot of action, right? Not so much. You gotta wait about an hour for the action to actually start, because there's like 25 minutes-ish where it's about prep. It's about the prep into getting into the war prep phase. And so, I mean, it's okay there. It's more like an eh. But once it actually gets out of that phase and gets into the war prep phase, it gets better, but it's still not great. But once that actual hour passes by, then it gets better. It's a lot better from there because the action scenes I actually rather enjoyed. Now, they don't really do anything new, and I never felt fear for our protagonist, but I still found them enjoyable. And maybe it's just because it's been a while since I've seen an action movie like this. I mean, that's a good possibility. However, I found the action scenes enjoyable. However, the moments between the action scenes, it goes back to that all-right phase that was in the second part. And so it kind of goes back and forth between good action scenes and then, it's alright. And so it kind of goes back and forth between that. And, I mean, honestly, there was a decent amount of comedy in this movie. A lot more than I was expecting. Because, there's a lot of it that really didn't work for me. But there's also moments within it that was like, hey, that's kind of funny. That's pretty smart. I enjoyed that joke. And so there's moments like that, but most of it doesn't work for me. And then there's moments where they try to get emotional on you, and you can hear these sappy music play, and it just not really feeling anything. You didn't really do a good enough job to actually get me to that feeling. And it's an interesting story, but a lot of it's kind of boring, but the action scenes are good. Some of the jokes aren't great, but there are some that actually stick out that are pretty good. And so, I mean, it's a kind of a mixed bag, and it's a January movie, so I didn't really have high expectations walking into this. I mean, it's not the best we've seen out of January. It's definitely not the worst. So for me, I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 9, and be worth seeing at matinee ticket price. I was actually kind of surprised, because when I walked out of the theater, I actually felt like I rather enjoyed the movie. It put a smile on my face, so I think it's kind of worth checking out if you have the time. It's nothing you gotta be in a rush to see or anything like that. So that's basically my thoughts on the movie. So thank you all very much for watching this, and if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more content like this. And remember, no movie is a perfect 10 out of 10. God bless you all.